Hey, Crystal.
Hi Lee, how are you?
Okay. Nice earrings.
Oh, okay. Hey, Lee.
Hi.
Hi Grace.
Crystal?
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
I'm
Jeannie's
here.
I'm here. Pam? Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. Pam Space.
That's
Lori
okay.
Barefoot. Yeah, Lori Barefoot's here.
And Lori.
And Maura.
And Maura.
And Jean Pillow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, good. We have a majority. We're in good shape.
There's also someone calling in at a phone number ending at 0968.
That's Andy from Wyndham Land Trust.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so ready to rock and roll?
Sorry,
Me-
Cynthia's here too. She was having technical difficulties.
Okay, 7:01, meeting call to order. Everybody announced their name. So, Cynthia,
Oh,
you're
Cynthia.
you're still an alternate? I got an
Mm.
email that they were gonna move you up after a town meeting.
Say that again?
I got a email that they consider you an Crystal? I'm
That's
confused.
the alternate to the Open Space Commission.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. That confused me. Okay, so no alternates to see.
Okay.
Beth
And
Bernard.
Beth Bernard just chimed in or checked in.
Okay.
Okay, so do
Okay.
I have a motion to approve last month's minutes? Or any comments or discussion on it?
Motion to approve.
Pam, you need to say your name, Pam.
Pam Space, motion to approve.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Do we have a second?
I'll second. Jean Pillow.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Hi. Yeah.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, no, anyone abstain? Okay. Okay, so public participation. Andy, who's the representative from the Wyndham Land Trust, you're up.
Hi. Well, as you know, it's Grace. It's not that funny. Yeah, I know that laugh.
Oh, okay. I guess my volume is pretty high, huh?
Yeah. Well, the Wyndham Land Trust, as many of you have probably read and heard about, has been actively looking to protect as much of the land in this, we've coined it the Nightingale Forest. And it basically extends from in the north at Rocky Hill Road, down along like what Cabbage Hill Road is, along, I think that's Perrin Road. And then it crosses down onto Quarry, south across 244 down to like about where the 4-H camp is, with Taft Pond Road, and then to the east out to Angel Road. And we've protected about a little over 1,100 acres in the last couple years or so. And there's at least 4 parcels of land in the northern Nightingale Forests owned by the town of Woodstock. One of them is the larger 113-acre property. I think we've done some light forestry on in the past. And then there's several parcels along Quarry Road on the eastern end of it. I think one's about 44 acres, and there's an 8.5 and an 8.3, and then there's a few small pieces, according to the NECOG GIS site, that are undefined, that the owner's unknown, but I think it's assumed that the parcels are part of the Woodstock lands. And these properties are all adjacent to lands the Wyndham Land Trust currently protects. And I know that in Woodstock, conservation is important. And, we all think that if a town owns it, it's, probably protected in perpetuity, but not necessarily unless it's written in the deed. And the way the Wyndham Land Trust is thinking, we did this with the town of Woodstock with some properties in Thompson on the Bull Hill Forest. And we were wondering if we were looking to approach the town of Woodstock as a possibility of seeing if they would transfer these properties over to the Wyndham Land Trust for ownership for permanent protection, which would free the town up of having to be the Conservation Commission of having to steward the properties, and also ensure the permanent protection of these properties. The larger piece, the 113 acres, it's landlocked, so it's not exactly developable. And then the smaller ones along Quarry Road, there is some wetlands and there is some drier ground on there. I'm not sure. I think it's on a section that might be discontinued, but things can change, and questions that come arise. Why would the town, if we own it, we can still control it. But from my experience, when it comes to towns owning land that's considered open space, you have lots of competing interests, and different things can happen over time where, the original intent can be changed to accommodate new things. And if we're looking for conservation and preservation of the habitat, an organization potentially like the Wyndham Land Trust would ensure that things would be maintained in a healthy state. I can give you one example. The town of Pomfret had recently acquired a piece for open space that's owned by the town of Pomfret, and the mountain bike people came in and NEMBA, and they have basically destroyed the whole mass majority of the property. They've put, I don't know how many miles of trails, zigzag, crisscross the entire property, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, up and down, and totally fragmented the entire forest. So there will not be much for wildlife or birds successfully nesting in there. And they've chewed up everything. So that's an example of something that can happen if a town owns a property. Mountain biking is perfectly fine if it's done responsibly, like if we let them go through and, we allow them to pass through our properties and stuff. But this was done in a way where it's like a racetrack, and it is used extremely heavily. It's basically ruined the property. And in my initial talks with a few people on your commission about this idea, there was something that was thrown out that there's a forestry aspect the town might like to be able to maybe, make some more money and make another profit, or make some money off some responsible forestry, particularly on that larger 113 acre property parcel. And I don't see that being a problem. Like if at some point in the future, like if the town did suppose that they decided they wanted to, work with us and maybe transfer the ownership to the land trust, but with the condition that the town, when the property is ready, the trees are at the size they can, you can make some money, that a proper forestry job could be done on the property, because proper forestry does improve habitat for birds and that sort of thing. And the other important thing about this Nightingale Forest, if you look at a satellite photo, it's one of the largest intact forests that isn't completely protected in Wyndham County. One of the largest is the Bull Hill area, which is on eastern Woodstock into Thompson. And then you have this Nightingale Forest part that basically goes from the southern central Woodstock into Eastford and Township. So we've tried to focus on these two big forests. We're gonna, try to work with something. We want to really make our bang for our buck, and there's a lot of important birds and wildlife that use this habitat, plus some pristine wetlands. So that's kind of my spiel. I
Andy,
take any
this is-
questions.
Andy, this is Jean Pillow. While you were talking, I pulled up the GIS from NECOG and was
Yep.
highlighting the properties as you were talking about them.
Okay.
Hi, Andy, this
Great.
is Beth Bernard. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. So yeah, I love Wyndham Land Trust. I think you folks do such a good job stewarding your properties. I have a few questions. Yeah, I know you mentioned birds, which is great. Do you have thoughts about this specific property? I think you said it was the 130 something acre property, about any management planning for that specific property? Or are you just wanting to have a contiguous area?
Well, our plan right now is, we would do some proper management over time, especially with some forestry things. And there's a lot of good old existing trails through this whole property. I mean, so this trails where you could basically go from Cabbage Hill Road all the way down, theoretically, once we connect a few of these missing pieces in Pomfret, you go all the way to Taft Pond Road. Management wise, we do some forestry. We've done it, and mostly a lot of it's been salvage or preemptively before, if there's before like things like ash trees, before the emerald ash borer killed them, or places where the oaks have been ravaged by the gypsy moth caterpillars. We haven't had a forest management plan done on any of the properties yet, because they're pretty new. But we've talked with Eric Hansen, who's like one of the top foresters, particularly if you want it managed for, with a sensitivity towards birds.
Yeah, he's great. Okay. Were there any specific like shorter term benefits that Wyndham Land Trust sees in this? By shorter term, I mean not looking 10 years, 20 years, in a management plan, but shorter term. You mentioned trails, so I guess I was trying to get to that, but if there's any other short-term benefits, I'd love to hear them.
Oh, short-term benefits to the town of Woodstock, or short-term benefits?
Either, actually.
Well, I mean, the initial thing is people who want the benefits. Particularly for the Conservation Commission, you wouldn't have to be in charge of stewarding it and trekking out there. Grace accompanied me on the bird survey last summer through that 113 acre property, and she can attest that there's sections
That
out
was
there
fun.
that she never wants to go again. There are some difficult areas out there, but one would be the town wouldn't be responsible for stewardship and other issues with it. Overall, like as a region and a community, it's knowing that it's going to be permanently protected and public access. People could go for a place in the woods for a hike or bird watching or go horseback riding, that sort of thing. If you've never taken Quarry Road, it's like being on an old dirt road up in Maine or Vermont, New Hampshire. It's got a really amazing feel to it. It's not like any road I know of in the area. I love it. It's great.
I'm sorry for laughing, Andy. I took Quarry Road a couple times this summer after it washed out. And yeah, it was like no place I've ever been before. It was very deeply rutted with really deep puddles in it.
Yep. It's discontinued, but you can still travel it. I went there this weekend at night. I wanted to do an owl survey, and I came across at least 5 saw-whet owls that were wintering out there, which is really remarkable for our area. I had never come across them wintering in the area, so that was exciting. And plus 3 barred owls, and I stirred up a pack of coyotes while I was out there. It was a little unnerving in the darkness, but it's pretty good spot.
I would like to bring up something to the commission that they may not be aware of, but this is not totally unprecedented for the town to sign over land to another entity. Lee, perhaps you know the answer. Did we deed over some land to the Youngs up by their property on, Valley Side Farm, with maintaining the rights to graveling or timbering that property? Do you recall?
No, I do not. Years ago or recently?
Yes, it was years ago. Give me a minute
Yeah.
and I'll find it. It was a landlocked piece. The town owned it, and the Youngs had asked for it, and I remember having Dawn come in and talk to us about it at one of our meetings, Dawn Adaletta, and we agreed to
Yeah.
transfer the
I-
land to the Young family as long as
Yep.
we maintained the rights to certain natural resources.
Yeah, it's down it's like the road, that Dug Hill Road area to that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
area. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
kind of lost on this parcel map.
Dean,
Yeah. it was
this is
like
Mara.
within-
Yes, Maura?
What does it mean to retain the I'm sorry, would you say retain the natural resource rights or something?
Yes. It just means that the property is owned by someone else, but if there's anybody going to, either we allow us to do a timber harvest, or if they were to do a timber harvest, we'd get the proceeds. Or I have to look, it'd have to be researched to what that covenant was in that land transfer. But I
So is
know that
that-
it's been done before.
So that's what you're thinking for these properties, to have something like that? I mean, do these currently have any kind of restrictions on them? I'm not sure what's in
They
the
do
deed on
not.
Okay,
Yeah, but for the 113 acres, the agreement would have to be that they would honor our plan of forestry management, which plans for another culling of the trees. It was like 15, 20 years. I think they were gonna go in again. So, so as long as my only reservation was the forestry part, or the logging. But if Wyndham Land Trust recognizes and accepts our plan of forestry management, then I think it would fly.
yeah,
This
so
is
that,
sorry. That is unprecedented with the land trust. With some of our properties we picked up in the Bull Hill Forest, we've had the same situation where people they kept the right to be able to do another forestry job on the property in the future. Our main goal is to just get the land, make sure it's permanently protected, and so it's not like ruined in certain ways.
so this,
Hey, this is Beth again. Just in terms of permanent protection, so you're saying that the protection on the land, that the land trust would add to it would be greater than what already exists with the town? And my thinking is, I don't think this is gonna happen, but just thinking all scenarios, like what if Wyndham Land Trust is no longer? What, you know, what can we keep in there to make sure that that land?
Very
stays
good question. I
protected?
mean, that question is asked all the time when we deal with landowners. In our bylaws, we have, in the unlikely event that the Wyndham Land Trust ceases to exist, we have a list of like-minded organizations that would take ownership of all of our land holdings. New England Forestry Foundation, National Audubon Society, Nature Conservancy. So
And
there is
these
protect-
organizations have already agreed to that, basically, is what you're saying? Not specifically, but in general.
Yes. And like when I say unlikely, the land trust is has an endowment that we use to manage our we're accredited, so we have an endowment that we use to manage like expenses and taxes and signage and paying for office stuff and postage. And we have a legal defense fund that and a stewardship fund, amount of money that's put aside based upon how many acres we have according to the accreditation group, so that we so we're always we can protect the property in any way we have to.
Is there any way you can share with us what could be a potential downside to the town to give up the rights to this? For example, what if there is something discovered? I don't know, Indian burial grounds, diamonds, something. And who knows what that might be? We have no idea. What if something is discovered later on? And that's question number one. And then number two would be, wouldn't it be a good idea if we would have first right to say, let's say we proceeded with this, if we had first right, just in case the Wyndham Land Trust was no longer, we wouldn't necessarily want just another organization. We might want to choose. Would we have first right to say, okay, it would revert back to us unless we were okay with the next organization? So 2 questions.
I'm sure that's something that I've never come across, but it sounds like something that can be put into like the deed, but it's something the lawyers, that's verbiage the lawyers would have to put in. It doesn't sound like something that sounds like something that can happen.
And what about the first part, the potential for discovery of some other resource, and what does the town give up, if anything?
Again, if we look, this is Jean, if we look to the Child Hill, Doug Hill Road parcel as an example, I think most of that was covered. So I would believe researching what was put into that deed restriction, we could repeat in this case, if it's already been legally vetted as a right thing to do. And I'd also want something in there saying that it can never become trade land, so it'll always be maintained as open space.
And I would too, because I wouldn't be doing this stuff in the land trust if I didn't want this stuff protected permanently. And I think everybody in the land trust, and I imagine everyone on the Conservation Commission or like-minded people would think the same. We don't volunteer and put all our time into this and to see it potentially get undone in the future. Although the woman's question about like what things could possibly come up, you never know in the future. That's like with any time there's any kind of real estate transaction, you just don't know, like what if, like, oh, I had this great farm at one point, and then, then you sell it and all of a sudden you realize farmland's worth, a lot more or something. I don't foresee anything super valuable coming out of this property, just because it's not on a main beaten path. It's remote, landlocked, but it's accessible because the land trust, and some of it because the land trust has adjoining properties, and it will just ensure, it's a unique resource. Like this big forest. When you go out there, you don't really you don't hear a lot of sounds of human activity. It's kind of it's a unique solace place to go to. Hope that
Is
answers
there-
the question.
Right now, can people hunt on the town land? And
I can answer that, Lee. This is Jean.
Yeah.
I, years ago, brought that up because I do believe that in some cases, hunting is necessary as a wildlife control measure for especially deer that don't have natural predators. And there was a hesitancy by the leadership in the town at the time to permit hunting on town-owned property because of insurance liability.
okay, so we're not going to hear any objections from hunters if we go forward with this.
Well, I can tell you that when we were years ago, when we walked the Quarry Road parcels with Paul Wilbur back in the day, people did hunt. There was a tree stand on the property without any landowner permission.
We're right, but the current policy of the town is no hunting on our town property.
I've not seen it in writing, but that was the feeling of the administration in charge at the time, that hunting would be ill-advised on town-owned land for liability issues. There's no written
Revisit
policy
that
on
to
that.
see what is
Okay.
actually, we might want to revisit that to see what is actually in the books. Because I think that would depend on whether or not town-owned land is considered public land or lot. Liability laws generally are written so that there is not liability on the landowner for a recreation such as hunting. So we might want to revisit that to be sure.
Okay.
That's correct. The state of Connecticut protects any landowner as long as you don't. The only way that you're open yourself up to liability from hunting is if you charge. If you charge someone to hunt on your land. If there's no charge, the landowner's protected.
No, but what I'm just asking is if somebody wants to hunt and they go on the town-owned property, if it's now Wyndham Land Trust property, I take it hunting would not be allowed. So I just, I want to make sure we're not going to have a bunch of hunters objecting to
Well,
transfer.
Lee, this is Jean. First of all, nobody can hunt on land without the landowner's permission. So if
Exactly.
anybody's hunting on the town-owned land, they need to get permission
Right.
with a signature from the town hall.
But can they?
This is Crystal Adams. No, I mean, we did have someone 2 months ago, a month or two ago, call and ask, and it was someone that, we knew, but the policy is no.
Okay, that's fine.
Is it a written policy, Crystal, or is it
I don't,
just unofficial?
I don't know if it's written. I'd have to go check in the ordinance book, but yeah.
No, I've read the ordinance book. It's not in there.
Then well,
I've read it from cover to cover many times.
I've looked in the selectmen's files. No, it's not written that I know of.
Okay. So how do we proceed from here?
Well, I can tell you what happened with Thompson. We worked a little. We had someone in Thompson was on the Conservation Commission, and they brought it up in the Conservation Commission, and our attorney was friendly with the first select person in Thompson when we talked about a transfer of some lands that they had that were kind of similar to this, that were out in the Bull Hill Forest. And basically, you get the Conservation Commission to support this idea, And you get the Board of Selectmen to support the idea. And depending on the town, sometimes you need to have planning and zoning support it. And then it would end up having to go to a town meeting for the town people to vote it in. And that's what happened in Thompson. And I think it was, it passed easily, and that can be a tough town.
We would also, this is Jean, we would also need to get the buy-in from the Open Space Land Acquisition Farmland Preservation Committee before that would be considered as well. I think we need to draft out all the conditions of what we would need to see prior to making a recommendation for this, and that would be based on what was contained in the land transfer to that landlocked piece that went to the Valleyside Farm. So I move that we move it forward with conditions that we research those items. To make sure that when we're doing this, we're doing it to the best advantage of the town, with the town's interest in mind.
Okay, there's a motion put forward. Do I hear a second?
I second. This is Beth Bernard.
Okay, now discussion. So,
Well, a little bit more discussion is to actually determine how many parcels of land are in the Quarry Road pieces. I seem to recall that there are actually 5 pieces of land. And for those of you that are looking at your screen, this one is one of them. That's not one of them. That is, I think, this one doesn't have any property owner assigned to it. I believe that's one of them. This one also doesn't have any property owner information assigned to it. I believe that's one of them. And then this one. So that's 5 parcels that were acquired. We need to research exactly what we were giving before we can give it. And Andy talked about the Townsend property. This is one of the pieces here, which is a really big piece, and this piece here, which is abuts with these pieces over here. So it is a massive block of open space, and it would be, an awesome thing to know that they were permanently preserved. And knowing Wyndham Land Trust with their trail network capabilities, it would open up a lot more land for passive recreation than is currently accessible to the public.
where do we get the info on that Doug Hill, Child Hill Road agreement?
This is Jean. I believe that would be in the land records at the time the property was transferred. I don't remember the year, but there's a computer that you can access at the town hall that talks about land transfers, and you can look to see land that was transferred from the town of Woodstock to the Young family, and you get a date, and all the deed reference would be in there, and then you can go into the vault and research what that says.
This is Crystal Adams. You may even be able to do that right on the town website. I'd have to check on that. But I know you can physically do it from the lobby computer, but I think it would also be available on the website, maybe on the town clerk's page.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool. That never was available before.
I
Do you know how many hours I've spent in that vault looking stuff up?
Well, not like the stuff in the vault, but like the stuff just the general stuff you're talking about that is available on the lobby computer. I think it might also be available on the website, but I know, they've been working on putting more stuff online. I can find out.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so who is savvy enough to find find the deed and, give it to us next month.
Find the
Hey-
deed on the Young property you're talking about, or the ones we're dealing with here?
The Young property, to see how we gave, the restrictions to allow us to use the natural resources there. Just to see what the legalese and how the town did it with the Young property.
Oh,
I'm looking for that property for those of you that are able to see the map.
Like I've researched, using, the online resources available to us through the town and the state, my own property. But, so I'd be willing to do that before next month, but I'd need the exact address of what that property was that was deeded to the Young family in order to be able to find it.
Yeah,
This is-
Jean's trying to find it there.
With Crystal Adams, if you go to the town website and go to departments, town clerk, and then land records, you can click, there's a link, click here to access the grant or grantee index for Woodstock, Connecticut. So I think that's where you might be able to find those land records if you had the address.
All right, this is Jean again. I have found the parcel and it's still listed as belonging to the town of Woodstock, but I thought that transfer took place. It could be that the parcel map data is not current. That's another thing I remember the whole vote and all the conditions that we put in for the transfer, but right now it's showing that parcel is still a town-owned property.
Yeah, no, I remember it too. So, it
So-
was transferred. We did go through the
VCOG might
process.
not be up to date.
That's possible. Cynthia, if you look at the screen, it has Connecticut 169. The map number is 5132, the lot number is 29, and the block, I'm sorry, is 29, and the parcel number is 15. So that's a reference to look up the history of that parcel,
Okay,
map, block, and lot.
all right, thank you. And I'll definitely research those town records. Thank you, Crystal, by next month.
You're welcome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
is there any other further discussion on the motion?
Well, I would also like to confirm how many properties. There. Get back to where I was.
This is Crystal Adams. Andy, I'm the Conservation Commission representative to the Open Space Commission. Do you
Yes.
do you have interest in attending an open space
3-2.
meeting to discuss?
Sure, I
this?
can do that. Sure, I can do that.
Do you have Dawn Adeletta's email address? She's our chair.
I do.
Okay.
Want me to email her and kind of explain what I want to talk about?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Thank
And I'll
you.
mention the Conservation Commission.
This is Jean. Grace. The
What?
original forest management plans for those properties that were done by, oh gosh, what was his name?
Yeah, I know.
Not Trowbridge.
No,
No,
God, no. Ugh. Yeah, I have a copy of
The
it.
guy at Yale.
Dan something.
No,
Wasn't through Yale?
No, the
Yale
ones,
was
the original
second one.
ones that
The
we did
original
back around.
Dan
Oh, Dan
Dan-
Donahue.
Yeah,
Donahue, there
Donahue.
you go. Yeah.
are those in the cabinet at the town hall?
There's a billion of them in the town hall. I have the forest plan that Dan did.
For both parcels?
Not sure. Cause
I mean,
when it was just done the last time, they figured out it was not actually 113 acres. It was like 103 or something. But I actually, yeah, we do have the pile of all the deeds, but you would need the numbers.
Well, I'm asking about the forest management plan for the timber stand improvement
Yes.
for the properties on Quarry Road, not the Perrin Road property.
No,
because that will say the parcels that were included.
yeah. Give me a minute.
Dean, this is Mara. How old is that forest management plan or those plans?
They were done around 2001, 2002, in that era. It's just
Yeah.
it would just identify the parcels. That's all I would like to see it for. Because the parcel map I'm looking at is incomplete.
We should also get an updated forest. Usually every 10 years you want to look at updating those. That's typical.
That is correct. For that particular property, though, there was very little value in timber for harvesting. And at the time, the cutting that was done was just to improve the quality of the timber stand. There's a big ravine on that property. There's a hemlock grove. And I don't even know the condition of it because nobody's gone on it. And I even think that there could be some town trucks parked on one of those parcels right now.
There isn't. I told the road, there's no one parked on that property.
Okay,
Yeah.
That was the forester. And he had left something there, but it is gone. The guy who was doing the logger, rather. All
I'm
right, I
thinking
got
of
the
the other
one I got from Dan. The location map of the parcel outline use geographic is on page 2. God. Parcel number is 70-22 and the map number is 6389.
which parcel are you referring to, Grace?
The one in the report, Jean.
Which
From Dan
report?
Donahue.
There were 2 reports, Grace.
Well, this is the one I'm looking at. It's a total acreage of 139 plus. Hold on. Boundaries, historic. Vegetation, wood products. Yeah. Wildlife. That only says it for this one piece.
Then that's the other parcel.
Well, number of acres is 92. Wait a minute. The report's only 55 pages long. Let me look through it.
Well, let's, for the sake of time,
Yeah, really.
we don't have to do this tonight. Is there any other discussion on the motion?
The motion again, please.
Oh, and Jordan's here. Jean, can you
Okay.
repeat your motion?
Didn't Grace write it down?
Are you high? I just
It's
know that
recorded.
Beth said it. Beth motioned. I didn't get any more than that.
Jean
I
motion and
motion
Beth
that
seconded.
we,
What? Oh, never mind.
I don't
It
remember.
was that, the motion was something to the effect that we would see what we had done with the other properties. Karen, I think was it. We'd get those records and table this for now and then come back together. Did I reflect that? Right?
Okay.
No, but I think it was that we would intend supporting transfer pending further information.
Further
Is that
research.
right, Jean?
Yes,
Yep.
both on
Okay.
the property that was transferred to the Youngs and the number of parcels on the Quarry Road collection of properties.
Right, so we're just voting on, we're not voting. to
Getting more
do it,
information.
We're voting to support it pending more information.
Okay.
So, or we could I suppose we could table it, but there's been a motion and a second. If there's not any further discussion,
Pending.
we can vote on supporting moving
Okay.
forward. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Hey, is there anyone opposed to, moving forward with this measure? And is there anyone abstaining?
I'm abstaining. This is Jordan.
Okay. Good. So everybody approved, one abstention. So, we'll have this on the agenda next month. And,
Oh, goody.
I think it's a good idea with, amending it with everything we talked about. Thanks, Andy, for coming.
You're welcome. I just want to
Andy-
add one thing.
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to add one thing before. It's when we acquired that Townsend property just recently, the 364 acres, the NECOG GIS showed that the Woodstock portion was 13.5 acres. When we had the A2 survey done, it showed that the Woodstock portion was, I think it was either 32 or 36 acres. So there's a bigger than we all realized. So just so you guys know.
And Andy, do you know the numbers, the map numbers and such of the parcels you're speaking of?
I never tried to look those up. I just know where the pieces are, looking at the same map that Gene's looking at on the computer.
Yeah, I know. Good luck with that. As we've said before, unfortunately, the NECOG numbers have been wrong in the past and continue to be wrong in all of the, as I say, when Dan Donahue did it way back in '99, it was like, these very different numbers than that are showing on the town records. And
Yeah.
what I would like, obviously, before, we can research the young property and all this other stuff and get the information. But I would love to have the specific map block numbers of the property that Wyndham is looking to acquire.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure I could stop in the town hall and see what I can find.
Cool.
Is the Woodstock Town Hall open to the public?
By appointment, yes.
No, this is Crystal Adams. I work at the town hall. So the
Yeah.
lobby is open and there's the computers available for lobbies for public use. And then if you need to make an appointment or need to talk to someone in a specific department, I've got a list of extensions posted. You just pick up the phone on the lobby and dial your extension. But if you know that you need like a specific person, you might want to call ahead or email ahead or set up an appointment. But most of the time the people can come out and help you in the lobby or bring you back to their office.
Oh, it sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Jean. You might want to go into the assessor's office and pull the big maps out of the drawer.
That's what I was going to do.
Hey,
So
great.
Rachel
Well,
is
just
going
to
to want to
be
talk
a
to you.
downer on that, the assessor's assistant did say to me, those maps were not always as accurate as they could be either. So just forewarned is forearmed.
Andy, this is Crystal Adams speaking. Rachel is our assistant assessor and her extension's 327, I believe. And she's be very happy to help you.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Okay, any other
All right.
questions for Andy? If not, thanks for coming, Andy.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you for your
exciting.
time.
You're welcome.
Great. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Lee, is this something
Okay.
that we would do a development review? I don't know, some kind of a write-up like we do for the development review. This is what the parcels are. This is their value. This is our recommendation. Is that how we would proceed to endorse this moving forward?
I mean, if you're, I defer to you. I don't see anything
I've never
ways and
done this before.
resources.
No, actually, that's probably how we did it with the other parcel.
No.
We did a development where these are the current conditions of the parcel. These are the resources on it. These are the things that we're concerned about. And this is our recommendations based on those conditions and our plan of open space and conservation.
Okay.
I
Well, I
think
mean,
that's
if-
how
if
we did
you're-
it last time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll defer to you. You're the chair of the subcommittee, so. Yeah, if you think
It's
it's
been a
necessary,
long
sure.
time since we've done anything, but that's
I
how
know.
I kind of remember the last one. I could probably
other-
find a copy of it.
The other thing you could do is you could talk in the town of Thompson and see how they proceeded.
Uh-uh.
What?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought Grace said,
Well,
uh-uh.
yeah, I mean, what they do in Thompson has nothing to do with, as we have found in other towns, doesn't necessarily follow.
No, I
in
know.
other
I'm just
words,
saying,
Woodstack has their own.
if Jean's never done it, just to get another opinion, it doesn't mean you have to do what they do, you know, that's just
All right.
research.
Yeah, no, well, as I said,
Yeah, just, well, it's a good
Nothing wrong
idea
with
and we'll
that.
keep it at, yeah,
oh, no,
right,
not at
Maura.
all.
yeah. So we'll discuss it further next month when we have some more information, but I think it's a great thing for us to pursue. And I think in the end, it's good for Woodstock. Okay, treasurer's report, Grace.
Okay, in our budget, we have $1,624, and in our special fund, we have $2,161.22. And out of the budget items, I did actually check today, and our membership at Kakiewicz has been renewed, so we can go to the conference now.
Okay. Okay, any questions for our treasurer? Okay, chairman's report. I typed out a letter and sent it in support of, Jean has a project through ECCD on pollinator pathways, looking for grant money. So I sent a letter supporting the initiative as being beneficial to us.
Thank you, Lee.
No,
When did you
well-
send that?
This morning.
I did not get it.
No, I sent it to directly to Carrie.
Oh, you needed to send it to me. It has to get attached to all the other support letters. So if you can send it to me, I'll put it in the packet. I need it for tomorrow.
Okay, it's on my work computer, so I'll email it because my home computer didn't have Word, so I had to go to work to do it.
For reference, what he's speaking about is the Eastern Connecticut Conservation District is applying for grant funds to start to initiate in implementation projects with the NatChog Healthy Watershed Protection Plan. And this particular grant is focused on building a region-wide pollinator pathway initiative and also using some funds to bring together the advisory committee for the NatChog watershed. It's a long shot, but it's, I gotta take some chances to start getting some funding to move that project forward.
Okay, communications. Grace, Crystal, and
There were, we got the thank you from Lori for the plant and support in her son's passing. But other than that, nothing.
yeah, I got something from Jay. I'm not sure this pertains to us, but he got a email from Brianna DeVivo, who is an assistant to Chris Murphy, about funding process. There's $225 million available in funding. through Regional Conservation Partnership. But, I think just other than the word conservation, I'm not sure anything we're doing is gonna warrant, grant money. Wake up, Jordan. Crystal, did you get any communication? Anything? Okay.
No, Grace,
Okay.
Grace was gonna check the mail today.
Okay. Okay, Gene, anything on DRC? You're muted.
Blame Maura for that. She put it in the chat. Everybody should mute themselves, so I did. I have not seen any agendas or anything other than that planning and zoning is working on updating their affordable housing regulations. And I have not been participating in that. So that might be something we should be paying attention to, but I haven't been.
Okay, Crystal, anything open space wise?
Well, regarding what Jean said, I'll be posting on the website at the end of the week, a survey and some more information about the affordable housing update that planning and zoning is doing. For open space, our last meeting, it was mostly just committee reports. I did set the record straight because at the December open space meeting, I had gone off our November minutes, which had Lori and Cynthia switched for who.
Oh, I'm so
was the-
sorry.
It's okay. For who was the conservation alternate representative and who had seconded the motion. So I was able to correct that at the meeting.
Okay, any questions for Crystal?
I have a question, Crystal. I recently saw a hint that there'd been some bond money released for different things. Was any bond money released for purchase of development rights for projects? I knew we had some pending in Woodstock that are not being matched with open space land acquisition funds. But I don't know the status of some of those.
If you have a question about bond money being released, that might be a better question for Karen.
Thanks, Beth.
She might be more up to date on that. And if there are some projects in the pipeline, but if they're not public knowledge yet, we're only talking about it in executive session. So I can't speak to those right now.
Right, I understand that and I appreciate it. No, I just thought I saw something about bond money and I knew there were several projects in the pipeline in Woodstock that were in the state PDR program, but I don't know the status of them. And I tried to research them and I couldn't even find press
Yeah,
releases.
there are some, and I think some are moving, I think you'll be hearing about one or two of them soon.
That'd be good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, P and Z, I didn't get anything from P and Z again. Did you, Gene?
No, Crystal last month told us that we need to go on the website and get the packet ourselves. They're no longer doing mailings. Is that my understanding?
I think the packets are available outside the town hall. There's a green box that says that the envelopes for the planning and zoning members are there. So if you need them, I'm not sure if Ashley is making, I don't know if you're on Ashley's list because you're not planning and zoning commission members. So I don't know. You'd have to check with her to see if they're being made
Yeah.
for you to put outside.
No, I sent her an email,
Okay,
but
great.
but she didn't, we didn't get anything this month. So I guess we're with the general public now.
Well, I mean, no, you can ask her if she prepared the packet. They're not mailing them right now. They're not.
Oh, they're
mailing-
not mailing.
No, I mean, that was costing a ton of money. Like,
Oh,
we're
okay.
talking like $10 per person, $10 to $13 per person each
Oh,
month.
okay. So where do we pick up our packets then?
So
Town hall?
when you go to the town hall, there is a green box to the right of the front entrance. And
Okay.
I think it says planning and zoning. It's like a lock, it's like a drop box. And I think that's where the planning and zoning packets are. But maybe just drop
Okay.
Ashley an email and just say, hey, I'm just wondering if, we're having packets made up for us, and if so, you know, we'd like to come pick them up or whatever.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Ag Commission, Grace?
Yeah, they're talking about, well, not until September, but they want to do an informational workshop, I guess, we had very good response the last time. I know you and your wife were there. And they want to just inform people about the different different ways that land can be used. In other words, going over PA 490, and you know, how people, because people don't know, they don't know how to use it or anything else, and asked if we would, you know, be on board with helping out. And I said, sure. I said,
Sure.
September was far enough away. You know, we have a little while, but other than that, it was mostly ag stuff, so.
Okay, any questions for Grace? Okay, and then stewardship, Beth left, but she texted nothing new. Anything else with pollinator pathway besides the grant, Jean?
Yes, I've been in touch with Lydia Pan. Is that the correct name, Maura? She's with,
Yes,
gosh, what's her organization?
Wild Ones.
Wild Ones, which is a native plant organization. And I asked her if she would be willing to do a presentation for us this spring to kick off Pollinator Pathway Initiative Year 3. And she said she would be available in April. So I will follow up with her and set up a date, and we'll determine how we want to go forward with this. If we want to have a actual in-person meeting, or if we want to stay remote, or if we want to do a hybrid, because Maura and I are good at that now. Anyway, that's one thing. I want to keep people thinking about it. I'm keeping the Conservation Commission Facebook page very active, continuously posting stuff about pollinators and native plants, and generating interest there. And it's amazing to see how much of that is being shared by other groups from being on our page. And we still need to talk to the local nurseries, plant nurseries, to talk to them about having native plants in stock for people who would like to purchase them locally. And we were going to work with a high school student from the academy, maybe on doing some kind of a flyer that we could put up at the 3 different places you could purchase plants in town. And was it Mezzamucci or something? I can't remember her name. It'll be in our minutes, but she'd said she'd be interested in helping us or finding somebody, but I just have not followed up with her, and she hasn't contacted me since that meeting. So, but those are things that I see as needs to do. Talk to the local nurseries, make some kind of a flyer that we can hang at their locations to make people aware of the initiative, and schedule a talk to get people excited about it. And if anybody's willing to assist with this project, I greatly appreciate it. Don't all speak at once.
Any questions for Jean? Okay, moving on to Crystal, Sustainable Connecticut. Anything new?
So one of the Sustainable Connecticut initiatives is to update, to do an affordable housing thing, or to update your affordable housing plan. So I'm going to check in with Ashley tomorrow, and yeah, I'll probably send it to Ashley and Jeff, and just, it's their initiatives regarding the affordable housing, and just so it's something that they can keep in mind as they're going through this process.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Crystal? Okay, so moving on to the new business. Election of officers for 2022. So anyone want to throw their hat in the ring?
Not it.
Lee for chair.
Okay. Grace, you still okay?
Yeah,
Maura, you still okay being VP?
You mean vice chair?
Yeah,
Yeah,
vice chair.
but if anyone else really felt like they wanted to step into that and to eventually, you know, think about being the chair, I'd be happy to step aside. Well, no, I just, you know,
Is
Are we
anyone
being
else
silent
interested in
enough?
being
No.
vice chair? I still say somehow we have to get Beth Zimmerman to.
Oh,
it.
please. She's busy with her ducks. Leave her alone.
and our dogs.
Yeah,
Okay, so any
For
other nominations from the floor?
I respect that Grace has taken 2 positions all these years, but is anybody else willing to step up to either do the minutes or the treasury report? Just to be fair to her, she's been doing more than her share.
it's fine.
Bueller?
It's
You're
okay.
dating yourself.
Okay,
It's true. It's true.
okay, so
Okay, so we,
is there a motion to accept the slate as presented? I mean,
we
I'm
need a motion,
closing,
guys.
I'm closing the floor to nominations. Is there a motion to
Okay,
vote on all three?
I
in one
move
fell swoop?
to vote on the slate as presented. Jean
Okay.
Pillow.
Okay,
I
is there a
second, Pam
second?
Space. I second, Pam Space.
Ham sec, okay.
okay.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, so
Okay.
we're all status
Okay.
quo. And then the bylaws. So
Okay.
Maura proposed to add something about virtual meetings, but my understanding, it's not us who decides, it's the state, right, Crystal? Yeah,
Yeah, but it's in
Yeah,
our bylaws. Oh, sorry.
It's the state because we're, you know, right now we're operating under a state law or something that it was passed last year, but it gives us the opportunity to meet via remote or hybrid, and that extends until April 30th of this year. And then at which point, I don't know if it'll be extended or not.
right. So we
So what-
can't go.
No,
go
but
ahead,
what I
Maura.
meant, I didn't mean, I just meant if it's in, you know, it's in our bylaws, it says these meetings will be held on the 4th Monday of each month at 7 PM at the town hall. So I was just saying maybe we should just put or on a virtual platform. Like, I'm not saying that that's telling anybody, that's not like deciding anything. Obviously, the state decides, but just, I don't know if we wanted it to be, because then it also goes on to say, or on such other schedule. So like,
Yeah,
it makes the point that, you know, it's gonna be Monday at 7, or it could be another schedule. So it doesn't matter to me. I just thought maybe we would want to put that in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, because I mean, right now, it's just, it's an emergency, basically. So the state's countermanded, you know, every other committee's bylaws, but come April, it's back to business as usual. So if we have that in our bylaws, but the state doesn't allow it,
yeah,
I'm not
let's
sure
not,
that's
let's not
productive.
do that,
Oh,
please.
the state wouldn't allow it if we're not in a
Correct.
pandemic? Because I was almost feeling like I kind of
No.
like this.
Yeah, I know, but
Too
it's the
bad.
sta- you know, the once the state pulls the plug, it's live again.
This is Crystal Adams. There is a movement, where some towns would like the opportunity to remain being able to do remote or virtual meetings or hybrid meetings, but I don't know if that's something that will be extended or not April 30th, but there is definitely some towns have seen, more participation via
Yeah.
remote meetings. And I think some people, a lot of people miss the face-to-face, but then some people, are quite happy to not have to go out again. So, I don't know what the state will decide, but right now, we're good until April 30th, at which point we'll know more.
Okay, so we can always amend, if the state decides that we could do virtual, and if then, like, well, we can revisit amending the bylaws at that time.
All right.
So is everybody, are there any other changes that anyone's proposing or comments on the current bylaws? Is there a motion to continue them
Motion to
as
approve
written?
bylaws as they stand.
Okay, is there a
Second
second?
Pillow.
I'll second.
Jordan, you second?
Jordan second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? So that passes.
Cool.
Okay, anyone go to any workshops last month, and anyone have any upcoming workshops to tell us about?
Nope.
None?
nothing.
Wow, okay. Moving on to open discussion. Crystal,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Grace,
Nope.
Jean,
Nothing.
Cynthia.
Nope.
Lori, how you doing?
Oh, managing. I have 2 charges to submit for the GoDaddy website. One was a renewal and one was something else. Who do I submit those to? Is it you, Grace?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the bill made out to you or to the commission? Do
Um,
I need to pay you or do I need to pay them? Is what
It's
I'm
me.
asking.
Yeah,
It's
it's me.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not allowed, I don't think, to have a GoDaddy website under, it's got to be a personal
Yeah.
name. So
Okay. Can you email me a copy of the invoice? We can do
absolutely.
it that way. And as I say, I'll get get you a check. Well, I annoyed the finance department this afternoon, so I might wait a day before I go back.
No
But
problem.
you'll get it very quickly.
It's
If
no
you
problem.
send
Diane
her
is
an
wonderful.
email, a day or two ahead of time, Grace, just send an email or make an appointment, because I know they're
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of budgeting, and they just got done with auditing, and they're just flat out, and ARPA funding, they're just flat out right now.
Trust me. I know.
We'll give a little window in between.
Yeah.
No problem.
That very good. You have my email. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I would like to request everybody send me an email with your full name, address, phone number, and preferred email contact, or if there's more than one, to add them in there. Okay? I do not have a current list, and I was told that we have too many members and the numbers seem to be changing, and it's not listed on the town site. But I would seriously like to have that information. If you all would do that, please.
Just-
Crystal,
Yeah, I do the town website, and I thought I had everyone up to date on the town website, but if you
No,
want,
you don't have all the information. You have the names.
oh yeah,
But I was
I wouldn't,
told I don't
wouldn't-
have anything else.
I wouldn't post any other information besides the names.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No,
It's privacy.
Oh, Lord. Just if you members would do that, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Grace,
it's
did you
only
email
I'm
you?
not
available for
doing that.
members. It's only information available to members, not the public.
Exactly.
okay, yeah,
I-
you just made it sound like the information on the website was not correct. And if I've.
No, I didn't say, I said, you were the one who specifically told me that you didn't have all of the information because I was looking for a listing myself. And you said that because it was changing, you didn't have it on there.
Right, the directory, I don't
Yes,
put on
there
there,
you go.
but if you look on the website, when people resign or are appointed, I do
Yes.
update that on the website. So you
I understand that. I'm looking for personally to be able to contact all of our members.
yeah, I won't put their emails on there, but. they
I
can
know.
email it to you.
I know. That's okay. I'm not accusing, I'm asking.
Grace, are you also asking for everybody's phone numbers as well? And
Yes.
is this list just to share within the Conservation Commission?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had that before. a
Yes, I
spreadsheet with
always
our-
had it. Yeah.
Yeah, in case something comes up and, yeah, Crystal?
Exactly.
Yeah, just from an FOI point of view, we can't be calling each other and talking about Conservation Commission stuff via.
I
No,
phone,
no,
know
it's-
that.
via properly noticed
I'm
meeting.
not looking for that. It's for if we need. I'm not going to share the information with anybody. And nobody is going, I'm not going to ask anybody any information about conservation. This is a listing to be able to get in touch with somebody.
Does anyone have any objection to that?
I see it as useful because if I needed some information that somebody had and I needed to contact them, it'd be really good to have their email. And I have gone through many transformations through different phones and computers, and I lose contact lists. So it's always good to have that refreshed. So
Yeah, and there's
I'm in
times,
favor of it.
there's
Well,
been
as I said,
times in the
I have no
past where-
intentions.
No, let me
I'm
give
not
you an
sharing this
example.
with anybody.
So there were times in the past where we didn't have a quorum and we had to call somebody at home to kind of put them on the phone to do the quorum.
Mhm.
So, having everybody's just mailing address
Well,
and
as
phone
I,
number.
yeah, exactly. And I
would-
mean,
would be
I have no
helpful.
intentions of sharing this information with anybody.
But I'm
There.
You okay
confused,
with-
doesn't the town have a record of all this information already?
No,
Actually, yes, in the selectman's office, the executive secretary has all of the contact information. When you want to become a member of a board or commission, you fill out an application and the executive secretary has that. But I think what Grace is saying is she wants it for her own record, so she has a contact list for herself that's
Right.
current and up to date with everyone.
Yeah, and I think as secretary, that's, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Okay, who are we up to? Pam, did I get to
We're-
you?
not yet, but I don't have anything to add.
Hey, Vice Chair Roby?
Nothing.
Okay,
I just want to
Mr.
go. No.
okay. Mr. Stern?
it's late. He's
Okay,
already
Jordan's
gone.
muted, I guess.
I guess I'm not gonna say anything since Nora wants to leave, so I won't say anything.
Okay. So, just again, on the behalf of the commission, Lori, you have our condolences and we're here for you if you need us.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion to adjourn.
Jordan
second
makes
it.
motion and we got
I
a
second
second,
it.
okay. Thank you, everybody. Sorry it ran late, but
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye,
see
Stevie.
you all next
Bye.
month. Okay.
See you
Yeah.
next month.